So, with Superman 2025, James Gunn has officially kicked off the new DCU. This film introduces us to a world teeming with metahumans, its own environment, and most importantly, a brand new Superman story. You didn't forget the post-credit scene, did you? Let's dive deep into the ending of the Superman movie. The third act of the movie begins when Lex Luthor commands the president of Bolivia to launch another attack on Zarhanpur, something Superman watches unfold live on television. Just as he's about to fly off to stop the war, Mr. Terrific contacts him. Lex, it turns out, is overloading a space portal right in the middle of Metropolis. But it's not just chaos for chaos's sake. Lex is doing this so Superman can't leave Metropolis and go to Zarhanpur. Meanwhile, Lois and Jimmy decode all the images sent by Eva, finally uncovering Lex's true plan that involves both Bolivia and Superman. Superman meets up with Mr. Terrific, who explains that this dimensional rift can only be closed with a special code, and that code is in Lex's possession. But before they can act, they're attacked by Engineer and Ultraman. Mr. Terrific is knocked out during the ambush, and Superman is left to fight alone. Using his intelligence and quick thinking, Superman manages to knock out Engineer and remove Ultraman's mask, revealing something shocking. Ultraman is actually a mindless, twisted clone of Superman, created by Lex Luthor, using a single strand of Superman's hair, recovered during one of their previous battles. At the same time, Hawkgirl, Guy Gardner, and Metamorpho arrive in Zarhanpur and quickly gain control of the war zone. Hawkgirl eliminates the dictator of Bolivia, effectively ending the invasion. Back in Metropolis, Superman defeats Lex's Raptor forces and throws Ultraman into a black hole. Meanwhile, Lois Lane exposes Lex's entire plan to the media, and Krypto the Superdog delivers a satisfying beatdown to Lex himself. Lex is finally arrested. Metamorpho then joins the newly forming Justice Gang as one of its core members. In the final scenes, we see Lex and all of his grotesque experiments being transferred to Belle Reve Prison. Superman, injured but still standing, retreats to the Fortress of Solitude to recover. There, he is joined by his cousin, Kara Zor-El, who turns out to be Krypto's original owner. After Kara departs, Superman watches old video logs from his Earth parents, helping him find emotional clarity and peace. What could happen in the future? Will Lex Luthor return? Of course, he's been sent to a prison called Belle Reve, where many other dangerous metahumans are already imprisoned. In the future, we might see Lex manipulating these villains, or even forming a team, and that could be terrifying. Now let's talk about Bizarro. In the movie, we saw Ultraman, who was essentially a clone of Superman. That reference might be a hint that we'll see Bizarro in the future of the DCU. Also, a dimensional rift has opened in Metropolis, reaching all the way to Gotham. So this event might be referenced in the upcoming Batman, Brave and the Bold movie. In fact, future villains might even emerge through this rift, such as the Justice League from another Earth, or colossal threats like the Anti-Monitor. What about the Engineer? Even though she was injured, she's still alive and hasn't been captured. She might be planning her own schemes to defeat Superman in the future. But the problem is, her major role was originally planned for the Authority movie, and now that her part in this film was so small, it's uncertain whether that movie will happen at all. Still, her future presence remains a possibility. Now let's come to Kara Zor-El. We saw Kara at the end of the movie, but don't be fooled by her innocent-looking face. She's not like Superman. We know why Clark didn't turn out like other Kryptonians, because he was raised by two good-hearted human parents from a young age. But Kara is a fully Kryptonian being. Her moral upbringing is not like Clark's. She's morally conflicted, so much so that people might even wonder, is she really a superhero or a supervillain in disguise? We're also told that Kara sometimes visits planets with a red sun to get high, because only then can she actually feel intoxicated. That's a major clue toward a potential Supergirl movie. Now, coming to the relationship between Superman and Lois, there were a few tensions in the middle of the film, but by the end, we saw that their relationship had grown even stronger. And that's a beautiful thing, because the more Superman is connected to Lois, the more his human side comes through. As we've seen in the comics, whenever a supervillain wants to truly hurt Superman, the first person they target is Lois. The biggest example of this is Injustice, Gods Among Us. So, the strength of the Clark-Lois relationship not only reflects how bright Superman can become, but also how dark he can turn if anything happens to Lois. At the very end of the movie, Superman's monologue in front of Lex Luthor served as a cornerstone for the entire film. It reflected who Superman is, what he believes in, and the essence of his character. We were shown that this new DCU Superman is not invincible. In just one movie, we saw him fall 3 times and heal himself 3 times. So this new Superman is not a god. He's someone who understands the world much like a human does. He feels the world. He was raised with the values his Earth parents taught him. Justice League hint? Yes, we already saw the Hall of Justice in the film. And toward the end, we see the Justice Gang team expanding. It's not clear if Superman is a permanent member, but maybe he once was, and now his identity is in question. In the future, this team might even be renamed as the Justice League. At the beginning of the movie, it was said that metahumans have existed here for over 300 years, so it's not surprising that new members will keep joining teams like this. And that was the ending analysis of Superman 2025. No matter how many differing opinions people may have about this film, one thing is universally agreed upon. The movie was packed with content. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys.